I'm Jane, and this is my story. I know this sounds a bit boring, but I suppose I was what you might call normal. I was okay at school, hung out with my mates and spent a lot of time at home arguing with my brother. I'd never had what you called a boyfriend, but some of my mates did, and it was all they went on about. I remember thinking that when I got a boyfriend, I wasn't going to be like that. Then I met Sam. I'd been hanging out with my mates and I was on my way home when he pulled up in his car. I'd seen him around before. He knew a mate's boyfriend, and I remember thinking he was really, fit. I couldn't believe it when he spoke to me. He asked me if I wanted a lift anywhere. I told him I was going home, and he said it'd be a lot more fun if I was going for a ride with him, but I told him that my mum would be waiting for me. I couldn't believe I said that. I felt so stupid, but he said it was cool and that he'd see me around. I saw Sam a week later when I was on my way home from school. He asked me how my mum was. I was pretty sure he was teasing me, but it was really funny and I didn't mind. He told me that he'd be getting a new car soon and I really should go for a ride with him. He said that he'd seen me on Instagram because we both knew some of the same people. He said I looked hot with my hair down and that I'm prettier than my mates. Later that night we started following each other on Instagram and I added him on Facebook. We were chatting online until 2 o'clock about stuff. He was really interested in me and what I thought. A boy had never really spoken to me like this before, and he said that he thought I was right about a lot of things like mates, school, mum, what a pain little brothers were, and some stuff I'd never really thought about before. He said I seemed really grown up. He asked me to send him a photograph of me in bed, and I did. He sent me a picture back. He had his shirt off and said I should do the same. I said no at first, but he kept asking. I sent him some. You couldn't really see anything, but my mum would have killed me if she found out. I started seeing Sam more and more. He'd pick me up from the park and I could tell that some of my mates were well jealous. We'd go for rides in his new car. He started buying me things, like new clothes and jewellery. He said I was his princess. Mum kept being nosy. Just because her love life was non-existent didn't mean she could pry into mine. I was careful about what I said I was doing, where I'd been, and made sure she wouldn't find the pictures or messages I was sending to Sam. She'd have gone mental if she'd seen them. Sam said he'd got me a new phone so that he could get hold of me whenever he wanted, and that we should have something just between us. He told me to dress up nice as we'd be going to a party. The parties Sam took me to weren't like the ones I'd been to before. It felt really grown up. I'd had beer before, but everyone kept sharing it out, and Sam was giving me vodka. There were people taking drugs too, but Sam said that I was his princess and they shouldn't be offering me stuff like that. He was like my protector, and for the first time ever, I was completely in love. I didn't see much of my old mates anymore. Sam's mates were really nice to me and fun. It was like a different world to being nagged by mum and teachers all the time. I was at one of the parties and I'd been having a good time, but Sam seemed worried. At first he wouldn't tell me what the matter was, but later he told me that he was in trouble as he owed some money to some guys, and they were getting rough about it. I said I'd give him the money if I could, but that I only had a little bit saved up. He told me that if I really wanted to help there was a way. I'm not sure I really understood because he had so much vodka. But I said I'd do anything to help. Of course I would. He said that if I went with the men he owed the money to, they wouldn't be after him anymore. Sam took me to them and said that he'd wait outside to take me home afterwards. On the drive home we hardly said anything. He dropped me near to my house and told me I was his princess. I told him I loved him. That really hurt me. I still couldn't quite believe what had happened. Sam took me to more parties, but they weren't like the ones before. The men seemed a bit older. There were hardly any other girls there, and I didn't drink for fun anymore. Sam told me that he was in more trouble with money than we realised, and that some men had threatened to hurt him unless I'd help pay them back. It was happening all the time. Sometimes I was driven to places I'd never even been to before. Different places, different blokes. They all looked at me like I was nothing. I was drinking more and more, and Sam even gave me drugs. He was different now. He said he loved me, but he kept taking me to these places. One night, a man really hurt me because he said I'd embarrassed him in front of his friends. Sam seemed to find it funny. The next morning, I texted him to say I couldn't come out anymore. I told him this wasn't making me happy. I said I'd had to miss school and lie to my mum about how I'd been hurt. He sent me back one of the photos I'd sent him from my bedroom. He said that if my mum really wanted to know what was going on, he should send her this and share it with everyone else too. I tried to ignore his messages, but they were just getting worse. He told me he'd been to my brother's rugby training and wondered how well he'd play with broken kneecaps. I went to meet him. He told me he loved me and that this was the way things were going to be for a while, but that they'd get better one day. I felt trapped. I wanted to go to the police, but Sam told me that I was a druggie now, and no one would believe anything I said. He said I might even get sent down and that no one would want anything to do with me after that. Then I heard about other ways I could get some help. I talked to a charity who said that they'd helped other girls and boys who'd been through what was happening to me. I talked to Mum. I thought she'd be so angry that I just cried. We both cried, and she said that she was mad at herself for not realising what was happening. Eventually, we went to the police. They said that I was the victim and that what Sam and the men were doing was something that they should go to prison for. Now that it's stopped, things aren't back to normal, but I'm trying. I'm getting a lot of help. I'm a survivor, and I hope that my story helps other young people to protect themselves and others.